West, in the news in the West talks about Muslims, and they make up stories.
I agree with you.
No, we have seen footage. We're talking about original footage,
which we can show now,
where the Israeli soldiers are beating children up, and
I will say.
I understand. No, but he doesn't want to talk about that. No problem.
We've got very limited time.
Yeah, stay off.
Maybe about 3 more minutes. About political issues.
Okay.
One thing I can say, he sympathizes more with us because he himself is fighting the same issue within.
No, he's a perfectly nice gentleman. I mean, we've had a very nice discussion.
But I do.
So,
I'm very much against. I'm very much against.
The reason why this issue came up, issue came up, because the point I was making was the Jewish people and the Muslims, the believers of Muhammad. That's what I mean by Muslims. People who believe in Muhammad as the last messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They have coexisted for over 1,000 years. The Jewish people were vulnerable. They were being persecuted around the world. Muslims took them into their arms and protected the Jewish people and gave them.
Some of them didn't. It was up and down.
Over 90% of the Jewish populations were in the Muslim lands.
At this point, I am disagreeing with you. I do say that the core of the issue. I'm disagreeing that because of the state caused the whole problem. I'm saying it's because of a lack of respect. That's what I'm saying.
Where did this lack of respect come from? Suddenly, after 1,000 years of coexistence, lack of respect pops into existence.
There are plenty of good Palestinians. There are plenty of good Israelis, and they could get along.
Yes.
And I think what we just got to do is like that guy over there who's really talking fiery, and he and I should be able to get along, hug each other, and we should really build a better world.
But you don't see that coexistence was disturbed by the creation of the State of Israel.
I don't think it's impossible today.
Okay.
I think it's still possible.
Right.
I think it's just a matter of wanting it.
Right.
Wanting what?
To coexist. Right.
I mean,
but if I come, if I come into,
it's absolutely haram to judge a person based on what you see on the internet.
Okay.
It's totally, these are unbelievers.
Okay.
They have no purpose in the world other than incite worse
So
violence.
what about these settlements that are coming up, the land that's been taken from the Palestinians?
Again,
he doesn't want to discuss that politics. We understand
Is
that.
there any reason why you don't want to discuss this?
Well, the reason, what happened in the Constitution of Medina, you had one, it was called Ummah Wahida, you had Jews and Muslims sitting together. Why did it work? Because you had one judiciary. You had one system of justice. The Jews had their din, and the Muslims had their din, but both of them came to the Prophet. It was tied under one system.
Agreed.
And that's what we need today, and what we don't have. Between the Palestinians and the Israelis,
So are you saying that Israeli system is failing? Are you saying?
Absolutely failed. The UN's failed. The Palestinians have failed. All of them
So
failed.
Islamic system was better. The Ottomans allowed the Jewish.
I won't say that necessarily it was better, but it definitely was on the right idea to have a single system.
Right, because the Jews and the Muslims are coexisting.
There's no way to solve any problem if you can't. I mean, if you can't trust the guy who's walking behind you, he's not going to stab you. If you can't trust that, what kind of peace can you have? You have to have.
So you are actually confirming that the Muslim period
was a good period.
Was a good period.
The Ottomans had the right idea to have a single system over everybody, and in fact,
no, it was not a single system, by the way. No. The Ottoman courts were there for the Ottomans, for the Muslims. The Jewish Beth Dins were there for the Jewish people.
It was a unified system. There was recourse. You could go to the Sultan.
There was one government, but the people in Ottoman Jerusalem lived by their own laws. For example, the Muslims had their own courts, the Jews had their Beth Dins, and the Christians had the priests to govern. So this misconception that
they were tied together.
By the political establishment called the Ottomans.
Absolutely.
Right? The Ottomans.
And that's what we don't have today.
Unfortunately.
Somebody breaks a window.
So here we have a Jewish rabbi advocating for the return of the Ottomans.
Well, I didn't say that. I said for a single judicial system. You need to have.
No, the only period.
You can't have justice. You can't have peace if you don't have justice. And you can't have justice if you don't have a single judicial system.
I agree.
And that's what we need.
I agree.
The UN has completely failed. It has completely
This
failed.
is a thought that's to be cherished. Absolutely. This is what Karen Armstrong is a very good scholar. She stated in a history of Jerusalem that the first time these three Abrahamic faiths coexisted was under the system of Muslims. When the Muslims brought the system, when they took over the city, you know, by the way, when Umar the second, not Umar the second, Umar the first, he took the city of Jerusalem from the Byzantines, Patriarch Sophronius. They actually put a clause in the treaty that you will not allow the Jewish people to live in Jerusalem, and it were the Muslims who brought the Jewish people back into Jerusalem, right? So this rhetoric out there, or this propaganda out there, that the Muslims are somehow anti-Semitic, Muslims are anti-Jewish, Muslims want to wipe out the Jewish people.
The same propaganda is that
this
the Jewish
is
people
a lie.
don't like the Muslims, that the Jewish people hate the Palestinians.
We don't believe it. We don't believe it. We meet beautiful gentlemen like yourself who change our perception. Yeah.
There are plenty of good Jews. There's plenty of good Israelis. There's plenty of good Palestinians. Again, what we need is a single system, and I believe that the religious courts, if you have B'nai Noach, what we call B'nai Noach, and then you have Sharia or whatever, you have honest people who fear God, who are making judgment and not doing it for politics, not to bring power to some other people. I mean, the governments are rising and falling all the time. You need people who, it says both by Islamic tradition, Jewish tradition, that a judge has to feel that he has the sword of Allah above him all the time. If he makes a wrong judgment, he'll be completely cut to pieces. We need people like that today. We don't have that. Okay.
Rabbi,
nice speed.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
Very nice meeting you. Very nice talking to you. Okay. Huh? We invite you for a dinner with us if you have time. But I can see that you have to leave yet. But it was very nice talking to you. And this is what we need: the Jewish people and the Muslims. I already have your. So we need to keep the communication going. We need to keep the discussion going, and we can break all these barriers. Thank you so much for talking.